You are underpricing your products. And I don't mean by a couple of dollars. I mean the product that you're selling for $22, you could probably sell for $38. And the reason it can't right now has almost nothing to do with the product itself. I know what most of you are already thinking. My customers won't pay that. My competitors are cheaper. If I raise my prices, I'm going to lose sales. Maybe I already have. I thought all of that too. And I left a lot of money on the table because of it. So today, I want to show you what actually gives you permission to charge higher prices and without gambling your entire shop. Here's why this is the highest leverage thing you could work on right now. Every other way to grow your shop costs you something. More sales, more listings, more marketing, more orders to pack, more messages to answer. You're trading hours for revenue. But price doesn't work like that. If you take an item from $29 and put it at $39 and the same number of people buy it, you don't do anything extra. Nothing's changed on your end. That's just $10 extra per order in your pocket. Let me put a real number on that. I had a listing in my shop that did 862 sales at $29 each, just under $25,000 in revenue, and most of that was in just 2 months. If that same listing had been $39 and sold the exact same number of times, that's $8,600 more in my pocket. One listing, same 2 months, zero additional work. Now, I don't know if it would have sold the same at $39. I never tested it, but that's the thing. I didn't test, so I will never know. And there's a second cost too that most people don't even talk about. Cheaper prices don't just cost you money, they also cost you the right customer. The buyer hunting for the best price is usually the buyer who messages you the most, wants the fastest shipping, and leaves the 3-star review. Meanwhile, the woman who would have happily paid double scrolls right by you because your price told her you're not what she's looking for. Your price isn't a number, it's a signal. And most of you are giving the wrong one. Before we get into how to fix this, one quick thing. Most underpricing isn't actually a pricing problem. It's a positioning problem that's showing up in the price. And that is genuinely hard to see because you've looked at your own shop 1,000 times. So I made you a free Etsy shop audit checklist. It walks you through your shop the same way I walk through a client's. Photos, titles, tags, pricing, all of it. And by the end, you'll have a short list of what's actually costing you money instead of a vague feeling that something's off. It's free, the link's below, and I'd run it before you touch a single price. Okay, let's talk about honey. Picture a farmer's market on a Saturday morning. There are 2 stalls and they're both selling honey. Same region, same flowers, probably some of the same bees. The first stall has it in plain squeeze bottles, masking tape across, honey written on in a marker, folding table out, $8. The second stall has it in small glass jars with a wax seal on top. There's a card on it that tells you that the hive sits at the edge of an apple orchard and that this batch was pulled in late June. The woman behind the table can tell you what the bees were on that month. $24. So is that honey 3 times better? Almost certainly not. You could pour them into 2 bowls and most people wouldn't be able to tell the difference between them. But nobody walks up to that second table and argues about the price. And here's the part I want you to really catch. Nobody at that first stall is doing anything wrong. She's working just as hard. She got up just as early. She's just given the buyer no reason to think it's anything but honey. And that's the whole gap. Same product, different permission. So here's how you build that permission into your own listings. 4 things, and the order matters. 1, know exactly who you're selling to. A product for everyone competes on price. Because when nothing else sets it apart, the number is the only thing left to compare. Personalized ornament is competing with 500,000 other listings. First Christmas in our new house is competing with a fraction of that. Getting specific about who your customer is doesn't shrink your market, it takes you out of the comparison. 2, your photos set your price before your price does. A buyer decides roughly what your item is worth in the second and a half before she reads your price. If your photo is a flat layout on a white square with the same lighting as everyone else's, she's already priced you in her head. And it's low. Put it in a real room with a hand holding it, with context, with scale. This isn't about having a nicer camera. It's about whether or not this photo says this is a lovely item that somebody would be thrilled to open. If you change one thing after this video, make it your first photo. 3, sell the moment, not the object. An object has a ceiling. A moment doesn't. Nobody spends $38 on a piece of ceramic. They spend $38 on the gift they're handing to their sister after they find out she's pregnant. So say the moment out loud, in your title, in your photos, in your description. Who's giving it? To whom? Why? And when? That's where the value actually lives. And most listings never even mention it. 4, then you raise your price, but you do it properly. Take your best seller, not a slow one that you don't care about, your best one, the one with a history, the one with the reviews. Raise it 15 to 20%. Don't touch anything else, and then leave it alone for 3 weeks. Then compare revenue, not conversion rate, revenue. Your conversion rate may dip a little in the beginning, and that's okay. That's normal. That's not the question. The question is, did you make more money? Most of the time, if the customer is clear, the photos are good, and the moment is in the description, you'll be up. One last thing before we go. There's a version of this business where you compete on price. I've watched sellers do it. You drop your price to undercut someone, and then they drop theirs to undercut you, and then you both end up doing the same amount of work for less money. Somewhere at the bottom is a woman making $4 per order and wondering why this feels like a job she never applied for. You can't win that race. Someone will always be willing to make less than you. What you can do is give people a reason not to compare you in the first place. That's not a pricing trick. It's a brand. And it's the difference between a shop that just sells things and a business that you own. So go pull your best listing today. Look at your photos, your title, your description, and ask yourself honestly if your product is worth what you're charging. And then whether it might just be worth more. If this helped, hit the subscribe button. I'm putting out everything I learned building an Etsy shop to just under $1 million in 4 years, including the parts that I got wrong. Grab that audit checklist before you change anything. I'll see you in the next one.